get our opening portion behind us. We'll start with our roll call. David A.C., Casey Bryant.
Here.
June Jordan. Ron Gill.
Here.
Laridia Jackson.
Here.
Marie Finney.
Present.
Ricky Floyd. All right then. Ricky Floyd. Here. Hazel Moore. Nicholas Pagoras, I'm sorry. Sandeep Pendikar.
Present.
Denita Swearinger, Ralph White.
Busy?
Okay, we do have a quorum, and we are going to get started with our meeting. Glad to see all of you here. And there are a few members, I don't know if they're on the way, but we did have several who called and notified us that they would not be able to be here. Mr. Robinson, as a matter, excuse my voice, got a little bit of it left. I don't want to talk all of it out today, but Mr. Robinson called. I believe he's on a trip to Washington, Black Caucus. So is Councilwoman Swearinger. So with the number we have, it's been great last couple of years or so, serving in the capacity as chairman of this organization, but as life has it, all things must come to an end. And so we're approaching the end of my term as chairperson. That doesn't mean that I won't be continue to serve on the board. Again, you guys have been great and helping me and helping us to move on. And I think we've got a lot accomplished, a lot of things we've not accomplished that as we continue to work, I think we've got good people in place, and we're glad to see that we have individuals who are really concerned about the cares of the city. I've had several talks. I had one talk with the mayor, and also he and the police director, I guess in the last 3 weeks. We talked about some issues. He sent me a letter saying that he was glad that we talked and that I was happy with what was going on. So I got to send that letter back. I didn't say I was happy with what was going on. I just said we had a good talk and we agreed upon some things, but there's a lot that needs to be done. Had to clear up some things that was the misunderstanding by the director that I said we should take its job. I never said that. I cleared that up. So we're great, we're good friends. But one of the things that does concern me is that this board is the civilian review board. So we're the civilians, we're the citizens board, and maybe we need to look at that. We're not the mayor's board, we're not the police director's board, and we've got to be objective in what we do, okay? And maybe we can be humane and civil, but we've got to be objective in what we do. When we met with the police director, he came and he made a presentation to the board, and he stated his case and why he thought he should do what he does. But still, at the end of that meeting, I didn't agree. That's why we had the meeting with the mayor team. But what was somewhat disheartening to me at that time, and I didn't want it to show, was after that meeting, we had board members get up, go out in the hall, kiss his ring finger, bow before him, and I'm looking, what do you think the citizens inside that we were, representing thought when many of our board members just got up and followed him out, and, that didn't look good. I mean, we call him if you just got to see him in another setting. So we got to make sure that we do those things because citizens are looking at us. We got to make sure of that. I'm not here to gain anybody's brownie points. I got a good job. I got good. I'm even getting good Social Security already, still working. So I don't have to, do any of that. But we're here to serve the citizens, and I'm going to be here. I don't have to be the chair. I want to be here to do what we're doing, make sure that our citizens have a voice, and we want to make sure that everybody who's here, and I've kind of been a pastor, I've been checking your spirits. I like you guys' spirit, and I believe you have the right heart for this, and we can move forward, and we're gonna be pushing for some greater things. I think we need to polish up where we are when it comes to getting the police in these meetings. We're still working on that. First case, that's not come to fruition as of yet, but we got to do better than that. So I'm hoping that under the new leadership, that we can support whoever that individual is and move forward toward those kinds of things. And what the chairperson says, that's where we go. We talk and agree with it, we don't back. So again, I just want to say it's been good. I've been your leader for a while, but I'm still here. I'll be here, and if you need me, don't holler. I mean, if you need me, holler. Okay, so with that being said, I think we're going to open the meeting for questions, etc., from the audience, and that was one of the main reasons we wanted to come into the community, so that it didn't seem like a downtown thing. Some people may be intimidated by coming into City Hall, you know, thinking this is the city's thing. So we want to go into the community, and we'll still do this maybe on a few other occasions, but we definitely still got to go to my neighborhood. We got to go to Riverside, okay? But other than that, we'll look at, you know, it'll be at the request of the board, what you want to do and how you want to do it. These little how to respond to law enforcement card, I think we had some of these. These are real good. Citizens need to know. Preaching, I said, the Bible tells me our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. But if you read on, it says they're destroyed in the midst of knowledge. There are a lot of things that we know not to do. I believe we would do, like turn our phones off. But you know, I think these will be very good for us, and we can get more. I'm trying to think. I think we got these from.
I think we got them from Shelby County Schools.
Was Shelby County Schools? Okay, great. And I think we get some more. It'd be great to be able to get these out to the citizens.
Yes,
and that's one of the reasons we want to do it. Leave them in libraries, etc., so that people could have access to them, and they know the questions to ask, or you know how to respond. So this is something that hopefully we'll have on our agenda very soon. In that, we have one guest. Did you have any observations, or you just one of our fans now?
Well, since you brought it up, I just got a question that I just enjoy looking at the board. Reginald Johnson.
Okay, that's the way.
Reginald Johnson.
Court reporter. So anyone who's going to speak, please give your name so that the court reporter will have the name, please.
Yes, my name is Reginald Johnson. And I guess my quick question is, I wanted to know, how do you all go about vetting and getting your board members? Because, you know, you all seem like to me all professional people. You know, what about people that out in the community just not got the status that you all got? So I think it should be somebody on your all board that's representing people like myself. You know, I'm a retired person, so someone like myself. But how do y'all vet you all people, and how do you pick your board members?
Well, we don't pick them. You can write, call, I believe the number in City Hall to the mayor's office, and ask to be considered for the board.
I don't want to be on it, but I was just...
No, well, that's how the individual would do it, okay. Yeah. Submit your application and, to the mayor's office. And I was appointed some years ago by a city council person, Janice Fullerton. I forgot how long ago it was, but she recommended me, and I looked at it. I'm familiar with it. And so we've been serving, you know, from that time. But as I understand now, you submit your reservation or application to the mayor's office.
Thank you.
And two, most of us are just ordinary people, and that was one of the things, I think, criteria, looking at individuals. We work, you know, we go to work, so they would consider you, and I would recommend that you do it. You've been there. Okay? Any, is that pretty much it? Yes, sir.
Yeah, Ferguson Nolan, 758 North McLean. You know, CLERB, you guys are great. You give up your time, you come down here, and a lot of you guys have empathy and seem to really understand the cases that are in front of you. And there are a lot of factors that are opposing the job you're trying to do. Mike Rollins, just one major example. But I believe that various council members and others in the administration have also raised obstacles for CLERB. The record of those 2015 discussions in City Council was nothing short of outrageous, actually. But all that being said, and thank you for your service, all that being said, CLERB is not doing its job. It's not doing its job in areas that are under your control. The CLERB website has 8 documents on it. Letters to Rawlings and replies, I think going back to last April, and that's it. No minutes, no case summaries, no correspondence with the mayor, which I know you've done. Very little of the correspondence with MPD. And CLERB is required by law to publish its proceedings. Why is this not happening? Over to you.
That's
Let me just, thank you. Let me just address that. We are, as a matter of fact, working on the website to ensure that we get things posted. And you are correct that things are somewhat delayed in getting posted on the website. In the process of getting those things, as a matter of fact, I worked on getting some more things posted just yesterday. So you will see probably, I don't want to give you an exact date, but within the coming days you will see some updates to the website of some of those things that you've just mentioned. They are forthcoming, but unfortunately it's been slightly delayed in getting those things there, but they are forthcoming, the documents and information that you've mentioned.
I'd say fairly that that's more than a slight delay. There are missing minutes that I have via open records request going back about 2 years. I've got hundreds more documents on my blog site than you have on your website, which is ridiculous because I'm getting them from you, basically.
Well,
It's the simplest thing in the world to get your stuff on the web. You buy some Google Drive space or whatever, you put them up there. And also, CLERB's minutes are supposed to be on the city website, which is, I presume, just a case of you sending them to the web administration in the city, or perhaps logging on and uploading them. There's no reason in the world why you're so far behind with all these documents, and it goes directly to CLERB's basic mission of transparency. You're generating all these documents, but they're not available unless you go to the trouble of putting in an open records request. That's ridiculous.
Well, as I forestated, we are working to get this done, and unfortunately, it hasn't been done, but the only thing I can tell you at this point is that we are truly working. As a matter of fact, the 2018 documents, all of the minutes for 2018, I think within the next few days you will see those posted on the website, as well as the agendas and other information. So unfortunately, again, it hasn't been done, but we are working to get it done.
Can we have public
Chairman White,
comments?
Mr.
Sure.
Wilson, I've been on the board since its inception, and the community might be well advised that we're the only community board that receive any kind of funds, all right? You have to understand that we all work free. The city was not funding any community boards. We insisted that we have some money. Now, getting somebody to produce the website, we have to pay for it. We have to pay for, Mr. Wilson can explain more. So understand that. So if we're delayed in getting the information to the website, maybe the website producers might want some more money or something. So it's not that cut and simple. We're doing all we can to inform the public, to keep them advised, but we have a difficult job trying to get through this maze. Ms. Wilson, Chairman White, and all the board members are trying our best. Other board members, we go to other cities to conventions, they have $1 million or more for their civilian law enforcement review boards. So we don't have the funds to do what we need to do or could do to satisfy the community. But we're doing all we can, in my opinion, to satisfy everybody within the law. Because we not only help the citizens, people rely on the police also. All right? So we're here to protect, we're not here to, we're here to hear all the cases that are against the police and against the citizen. We're doing the best we can against the odds with what we have. So just know, we don't have a lot of money to do a lot of stuff. Ms. Wilson is working her tail off to get, I don't even know if you have an additional secretary or not. I don't know. So it's not that easy. So the new board, you have to understand, it's not that easy. So everybody's got questions, the police, the citizens, and we hear a lot of cases where it's clearly the citizens are relying on the police. So we're trying to protect everybody.
Let me say this too, to that. We're not here to take indictments. We open up for suggestions. So those were suggestions you made, hopefully, because when you say we do nothing to communicate with the director, and I stated, I definitely do. We do for this particular organization, not just to the director, but to the mayor. When we first came into existence, I was the first one who said, let's have a meeting between the police director, internal affairs, and the president of the police union. I sat down with, they don't even communicate with each other. I sat in the midst of them and said to them, look, we're all here for one reason. That's so that we can protect the citizens of the city. We know you're the union, we know you're internal affairs, we know you're the president, but at the end of the day, the citizens of Memphis, that's our main concern. They had never had that discussion before. As a matter of fact, it was so quiet in that room because there was so much tension. They'd never come together. We brought them together, had them start thinking that way. And even in all this group has survived when the city council wasn't really all for it. We've had to fight the city council just to get where we are, even with subpoena power. It's, that's just like a tiger with no teeth. And I said it before, and I've said it again. So these are the kinds of things that we're having to struggle with after what we've gone through. So, and these individuals who, again, they have no compensation. We've gone to conferences. I've gone to Canada, to, I believe, St. Louis, Chicago, etc., national conferences. They have, in Los Angeles, their review board is almost comparable to our police department. They have that kind of workforce. So, we're doing good with what we've got, and we'll continue to do that. And so we'll take those things under advisement. We're going to work. Maybe I have to come in some now and work like a real president. But anyway, we'll come in, give her whatever assistance, but she's doing all of this by herself, and we want to make sure it's right. And we appreciate those suggestions. Those are some things that we'll take back and notate to make sure that the next time you come, you'll be smiling through that pretty beard. Okay, appreciate you.
Pastor White, can I ask you one more question?
Yes, sir.
Is it possible that y'all will ever get subpoena power? Because they're like, without subpoena power, you don't have, the board didn't exist. You all can make recommendations and do whatever you want to do. But if you don't have subpoena power, don't have the unction behind with the police director, I think you all really just fight and lose the battle, because the board is good. I'm telling you, going through my process when I went through it, and I appreciate everyone that, did what y'all did, but without the subpoena power to subpoena somebody, what is the board accomplishing?
What you realize, we do have subpoena power, but it's the way it's set up, makes it very difficult for us. And in the meantime, we're gonna continue to do things like, you stayed on me, I stayed in contact with you to make sure, and eventually I told you who to call, and how to call them, and how long to call them, and that's why I think it's time you called them. And they did something about it. So, we are effective in our own way, but that would enhance, our ability to do some things. One of the things they don't understand is that the subpoena, when we can get a police in it, in many cases, it would help them more than it would help the complainant. Because with the cameras coming in, we've had a few cases just recently where we listened, we were crying because of the testimony of these complainants. And then when we brought the cameras in, we had to look at those and say, are you the one we're talking to? So they don't understand that. They're working on the defensive that we're the police, many of them. We're the police and we're right, and we don't have to answer to anybody. And we're here to say, whether you like it or not, you will have to answer to somebody. That's this board. And we'll continue to push for stronger subpoena power. So just things come in phases. And we're fortunate to be where we are. Okay? Well, look, again, I want to stress these, that we're going to get some more of these little handouts as relates to how to respond to law enforcement, which is very, very important, very important. I remember a case I had, of all places, I was coming through Mississippi, and the police officer pulled me over. And I said, you shouldn't have pulled me over. The guy in front of me was going faster than I was. And I'm not going to sign that thing. In Mississippi. And, the guy was so nice to me. He said, well, sir, you can sign. I said, I'm not signing it. He said, well, if you objection, there I was, not realizing what he could have done. So my little son was in the car with me. And so I noticed about 2 miles later, when we were up the road, he was still standing there. And he said, Daddy, my little girl that called him in, he said, me and Miss Pooh hadn't been in this car, he would have taken you and Mama to jail. So even sometimes babies know stuff that we don't know, just common sense. So there's some things that we need to know not to do. You're going to give me a ticket, don't you try to be the judge and jury. Let the judge be the judge and jury. May cost you some court time, but at least, and you can get that taken care of without going through some other things. So I think these are going to be very good for our citizens and good for us, because there again, a lot of things I learned that, we didn't really know. So I think we're very, very important, and one of the reasoning behind our coming to the community was just for that, so that people can understand that this was not the city council's group, this is not the mayor's group. These are individuals who go through the same things that you go through, and you do have a recourse when you get beyond internal affairs. And I believe they're fair, and many of the judgment, then some they're not. And when we have individuals who question or challenge that, they have another recourse, and that's the Civilian Review Board.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
I have a suggestion for Peace and Justice Center and community. If you all would take what we have, what should you do when the police stop you? if you all would help us pass that information out. The police stop you and ask you for your driving license. Just give them the driving license. Don't tell them, why you stopping me? You ought to be out for some criminals and all this junk. This, and you tear up the ticket, you going to jail. I mean, you destroying you're destroying property. So if the community would know how to respond to the police, they might be looking for a criminal with your same color car with two people in it look just like the description. They get reports every morning on who to look for. So just comply.
Who are you guys? What can you do? What are your limitations? Then they need to know. Then we can in turn give them information that they can take back. Whether you all realize it or not, we're living in an age that everybody feels that their rights supersede everybody else's rights. So you're the police, but I'm Pookie. And but you need to understand, I have a badge and I have authority. There's certain things that I'm called to do to maintain the peace in the community. But we have individuals who feel that, I don't have to show you this, I don't have to do that. But and there are procedures that police do have to go through. And then there are certain actions that they have to take once you become disruptive or disobedient, disorderly. We understand that, and they need to understand that also, So it's a matter of, again, educating of the community. If you're not guilty, well, what's your problem? We're going to ask you some questions. If that's why we came. We didn't do anything else. Yes, sir. What can I help you with? Blah, 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 blah. And you're going, but I don't have to tell you. I don't. Yeah. You see, but that's the mindset that we're dealing with our young men, not just young men, but young women. We have that mindset. And someone said, well, I don't know. I see it every day. So it's not like I see it every day. And I deal with these young people every day. And I know how they react. So, it's ours to watch over them, advise them, respect the authority. That's who they are. That's what they get paid to do. And if you're innocent or whatever, go through whatever. I just last week worked with a young man who was falsely accused by police in jail for 28 months. We walked through it to get him out of that. And so we do this, and I explain to these young men, you're going to have to make sure that you learn how to deal with the authorities, because you can get yourself into situations that's going to be very difficult to get yourself out of. So when we, bring people before us, we need to go, having had that experience, knowing how to talk to them, say, listen, the next time, I want to put this in your hand, look at it, and next time, do the right thing. So I think we are effective and are going to become even more effective as people understand who we are. Okay, look, again, I appreciate all of us. Do we have any other board members who would like to interject anything or have any comments? I don't want to just hold you here because I got you. So I have to do a church, and I take the offering, then I let them go. But then there's no sign of any offering. I'll let you all go home. But what we want to do is, it's time for new officers, president, and our chairman and vice chair. And so at this time, we're going to open the floor. Is that right, Ms. Wilson? Is this time to do that? Or
Well, you can either do that or approve the minutes.
Oh, we've not.
Deviated from the agenda.
Yes, so
Yeah, I guess we did.
Yeah, we haven't approved the minutes, so maybe we'll get back on course.
I didn't get, Okay, confirm the date for CLERB training. Okay. We've got 2 days. Ms. Wilson, you want to give us those dates again?
Yes, sir. I just sent a sheet around with the dates on them that we can select for our next.
Okay, I'm sorry. And I did go, I'm jumping, I guess. Looking at the minutes.
Yeah. Let's go ahead.
Okay, I guess in this time, while we were blabbering, make sure you got a chance to Y'all had a chance to read all the minutes?
Yes.
Okay, can I have a motion that relates to the minutes?
Approve the voting minutes from the August 9th clerk board meeting.
Second.
Okay. Been moved and approved, second, the approval of the minutes for the August meeting. All those who are in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So we have, the minutes have been approved for August board meeting. And the old business that we have, many of you received a date from Mrs. Wilson.
Correct.
Relative to the CLERB training.
I think we have some board members that have not had an opportunity to choose their first and second preference for the training.
Okay.
And I think there should be a sheet going around, so if you will just look at.
Started this way and then we passed it back that way.
Okay.
I had it, and you snagged it back to me.
So it's proper, it's proper to have them. So when I review these, if I don't see an indication of some dates that you prefer to attend the meeting, then I will notify you and just kind of get your dates. Because we have some people that are not here, so certainly I'll have to get with those
It might be
people.
easy, Ms. Wilson, if you just call the dates out and
Okay.
show of hands and you just write it in based
Okay.
on,
Okay, the 3 dates that we have is Saturday, October 13th. The second date is Saturday, October 20th. And the third date is Saturday, November 10th. I understand from the police that the training must occur on Saturday because they said that that's the only day, the only day that they can have their officers at the police training academy, and that's where the training must occur, at the police training academy. So Saturday is their only date that they can do the training. So those are the dates, but I do have a date indicated for Mr. A.C. I have a first choice, but not a second choice. DeJuan has indicated his first and second choice. Floridia Jackson have indicated first and second choice. Ricky Floyd, first and second choice. Sandeep Pinekas indicated that he will be out of the country. I don't see anything from you, Marie and Casey.
I'm good with either date.
I'm sorry?
I'm good with
Any
either dates.
Any of the dates? Okay, okay.
And I'll only be available October 13th.
October 13th, okay.
that's not one of the dates, is it?
It is.
Okay.
It's.
Yeah, okay. It wasn't one I selected, so that's why it didn't sound familiar to me.
Okay. So I think that's everybody who is here, so we'll just have to
How
get
many
those.
takers do we have October 13th?
October 13th, let's see, Casey Bryant, Ricky Floyd. That's it.
Well, I've already done it, so you guys can just.
Well, actually,
I know.
actually, let me just say this. After talking to the coordinator of the training, and I indicated that some board members had attended, but what he indicated was that he would prefer all of the board members, even if you have attended the training before, if you will please attend it again, because they're going to incorporate some new things that didn't occur in the last training. So it's been suggested that everybody attend the training, even if you attended it before.
Just tell me when to be there.
Okay. So
Down
that's,
to 13th also.
okay.
You go ahead and change my first preference to the 13th.
Okay.
That's it.
That's when the majority will be.
So far, that's what we have, October 13th. Yeah. Chairman White just indicated October 13th, so,
Put it down for October 13th.
okay. So once I talk to the other persons, oh, you can't attend.
Don't give them a choice.
Don't give them, tell them that's the date.
That's the day.
Okay. Okay, I will certainly reach out to the other board members who were not here and just let them know that the board has decided on October 13th for the training.
Okay,
Ms. Fanny, you with us?
Yes, I am. Stop it.
I think it's gonna be
So, but
8 o'clock. I believe.
who's the vice chair, by the way?
But I will
Who will be the vice chair?
It's you, if you want it.
I didn't talk about
I'll nominate you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now new business. Status on pending clerk cases, Ms. Wilson.
Yes, sir. We currently have 6 cases that are pending that hopefully at the next board meeting, we will be assigned a case to hear, if not two, so that we can kind of get back on track. So those are the 6 that we have. I will be reviewing those, and Mr. Robinson will be making certain that there's an interview with all of those persons so that we can have a case for the next board meeting.
I take it we put a dent in the number of cases that were backlogged. I mean,
We-
at one point, we were hearing 2, 3, maybe sometimes 4 cases, but the last 3 or 4 months, it's been 1 case
Yes,
per meeting.
we've had a turnaround in terms of getting the backlog lower, and we don't have as many now that, and a couple of the cases that we have, we have to talk to those persons to see if they truly still are interested, that their cases that were reported back in 2016, so we'll just find out if they're still interested in having their case to be heard before this board.
So what are some of the contributing factors that we believe has reduced the number of complaints the number of cases that CLERB has received in the last 7 or 8 months?
Some of the factors is with some of the persons who called to just explain it, to just get an understanding in terms of what the board actually do and how, like for instance, a couple of people have indicated that if we're not giving some type of monetary compensation, then they're not interested in having their cases heard. And of course, we've been hearing cases since 2016, so we have moved most of the cases off our backlog. The other thing is, this year we have not received as many complaints as we did in 2017 and 2016.
Do we sense that maybe IB, Internal Affairs, is doing a better job than,
That may be a contributing factor because some of the cases that we have now, on those cases, we see that there have been some type of, for lack of a better word, discipline with the officers in some of those cases that we have. So that could very well be one of the
I
contributing
would
factors.
imagine that the cameras have made a huge impact as well.
Yes.
Mr.
I would hope that, but I also know that people have become fatigued with this whole process, the whole system. I would hope that IFB is doing a better job and the cameras are making a difference. But I also know that people are worn out with this whole system, so.
By the way, I have to pick up my son, so I have to leave. But if Casey is being recommended for the chair, I want to put in my vote as a yes for her.
So you'll leave your proxy vote here?
Yes, that's why I'm making it very, very openly clear. And Mr. Gilliam said that he would put my name as a vice chair. I'll support that too.
Well, I think before you, if you could just hold for 1 second, please. I know you have to pick up someone, but if we could go through the process, I think it won't take very long since you're here.
Pick up my son. Okay, let's do it fast.
Okay.
So, Mary will assist us with the process, so, we'll go through the process of the election.
Okay, well, I guess we open it for recommendations or nominations.
I nominate Casey Bryant to be the incoming chair of the clerk board.
Second.
Casey Bryant, nominated as chair. And we just, all of those of you in favor, want to go by name, just by numbers.
We do a roll call.
Any other nominations, I'm sorry, for? Thank you. Okay. No other nominations? Okay, well, and I believe that should do it. So, all of those of you in favor of Casey, become the chair?
Aye.
Any opposed? Casey, you got it.
Oh, boy.
Casey, with that being said, you know, as the chair, I believe she's allowed to appoint her assistant.
Yes.
So you may want to do that now or pray on it.
I think the remaining 12 nominate the co-chair.
Yes,
That's what it says in the
That's correct.
job description.
You have that?
It's in our packet for today.
It goes through the same process.
Yeah.
Says, once the chairperson is elected, the alternate chairperson shall be appointed from the remaining 12 board members. Oh, I guess
Well,
that's
yes, see,
the
what
point.
last time Chairman White appointed you.
Uh-huh.
So we gave the chairman the prerogative to appoint whoever they
Yeah.
want. Now, you don't have to do that.
No, I mean, I would like to ask if anyone else wants to nominate
I
themselves
nominate
or someone else too.
Mr. Gillen, if that's okay.
And I nominate Sandy.
And I nominate Chairman White to, he's got a voice with the police and mayor's office, so I think that might be in handy.
Ron, what do you think?
I think that's fair.
Oh, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you.
I would rather pass,
Okay,
Chairman.
I'll
I
take it.
appreciate all the confidence, but,
I appreciate it.
All right.
We still,
And
So-
I appreciate both of you, but he's already got a voice with him, so I think we're gonna need it going forward. That's just-
Agree.
We had 2 nominations, actually.
Mhm.
2 remaining nominations. We had Sandy and Chairman White. So the board should really vote on who they want as vice chair. And if y'all want to do it by secret ballot, you can certainly do that. What's the board's preference on that? Everybody here wants
No secret ballot.
Okay.
We would stand by what we agree with. No secret anything.
Mike was interested. Let's do a roll call vote.
Yes.
okay. I will do the roll call. David Acey,
Why?
Wait, I didn't get that.
Cindy.
okay.
I mean, I heard you say David Acey, but I didn't hear a response.
Why?
He said
White.
White. Yeah.
Chairman White. Casey Bryant,
Chairman White.
Juan Gilliam,
I have to go with my nomination, because I didn't know Chairman White was interested, so Sandy.
okay. Doria Jackson,
White.
Marie Finney,
Ralph White.
Ricky Floyd, Sandy Pineka. You don't have to.
See, I would love to, trust me, because I'm very passionate about doing this. And I also have to see if I will be able to do good like Casey has done. So, Joan, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
I really appreciate that. I'll go with White.
Okay.
So that's 6 against 1.
Can I
Hold on.
draw my name?
Well, hold on one second. No, you're in the midst. No, you're in the middle. Okay, so Raph White.
Oh.
Who you voting for?
I abstain.
That was a teenager.
Ralph White.
So seven voting for himself?
Yeah.
Okay, he's voting for himself. Did you get it? Mary's doing the tally for us.
It's not hard to figure.
It's not hard to figure out.
7 against 1.
I'm counting, 7 votes to 1
Mhm.
for Chairman White, so as vice chair.
Yay!
That's your advice, Chair.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank
Okay,
you.
all right. Thanks.
So,
I appreciate it. Yeah, the chair, you're taking over Ben Brooks. You got to come
Oh,
here.
right now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as the new chair of this board, I move to close the meeting to complete the agenda.
Second.
second, third.
All in favor? Great. All opposed?
Good meeting.
And we appreciate the community for coming today.
Madam Chair.
Some point come to one meeting, so, before people come out home.